You see the mascots out there on the pitch. Indy Riley's been stitched up. Her mascot is considerably taller than her. And would you believe, Katrina Gorry is taller than hers. So, good work by you. Handshakes taking place then. The two captains, Claire Polkinghorne, and for victory, Natasha Dowie. Plenty of cross-pollination between the two teams. Of course, the coach, Jeff Hopkins, was a multiple trophy winner with the Queensland and Brisbane Roar. And there are also a number of players who have played for both teams or in both cities taking place in today's game. So they will be hugely familiar. Victory winning 3-2 up in Queensland when they met earlier in the season. And Natasha Dowie was a key part of that. And the wind at the moment is going across the ground. So you imagine this coin toss won't be too important to decide who attacks which end. A couple of absentees for victory, including Grace Maher and also Laura Brock, the former Laura Alloway, not in today's match day squad. And it looks as though victory will be attacking the left of your screens and Brisbane Roar will be going to the right. It reached 44 degrees in Melbourne yesterday. It is beautiful and mild this morning. A bit bright for the sun, but absolutely nothing too uncomfortable for the players. And in stark contrast to last year, the pitch is in immaculate condition here at Epping. And of course the PFA made a point of the state of the pitch when a match was staged here last year. So credit to Whittlesea Council for getting it in tip-top nick for today's game. You couldn't ask for better. So an important match for both teams. Top four just about within reach if they can get on a run through this festive season. And what better way to start it here than with 3 points in a AM kickoff. They're a rarity in the WD League, but not unheard of. So let's see who can prevail this morning. All in readiness for Melbourne victory against Brisbane Roar on Rachel Mitchinson's whistle. And we're underway at Epping. And straight away, possession turned over by Natasha Dowie, and Tamika Yallop thought she was fouled. Carson Pickett with an early ball down the left, and trying to make a run is Hayley Razzo, but she's well guarded on this occasion by Emily Menges, and it's a goal kick. Casey Dumont, one of the many former Raw players, in goal for victory, and they've got another one here in Jenna McCormick, and another in Angie Beard. It's a backline that has been in both sets of colours. And victory really played themselves into a bit of trouble there. But they do get the throw to be taken by Darian Jenkins. Katrina Gorry, who actually made her WD League debut in Melbourne victory colours, knocking the ball out. Victory will be happy to move the ball down the sideline. Ayres was frozen out on that occasion. Baisden trying to slip it into space for Tamika Yallop, and the early cross sat up temptingly for Indy Riley, and it's been turned behind for a corner. Well, at least the Raw thought so. The referee had other ideas and said that will be a goal kick. Good half chance for Raw, and Indy Riley, who scored on her birthday last year, misses out this year because the game was postponed. It was yesterday that she turned 18. So happy birthday, Indy. And we wonder if she can repeat the trick by scoring on or near her birthday for the second year in a row. Natalie Tatham with the throw this time. Jenkins is there for victory. Angie Beard. And the two senior heads and captains, Claire Polkinghorne and Natasha Dowie, not surprising that they are in a one-on-one duel already. Annalie Longo throws it to Jenkins. Caught in a 1-on-2, but showed great industry to keep moving. And the cross is off the head of Rosie Sutton, who knew absolutely nothing about it. Actually almost turned away from the ball there. Better chance than it may have ended up being in its execution. And yet another Queenslander, Rosie Sutton, is unable to score against her home state team. He's yet to find the back of the net in victory colours. Don't be deceived by the number 2 shirt. She's playing up front. That is just a old school footballing sin to have one of your strikers in the number 2 shirt, though. And then your centre back wearing the number 10, who is Jenna McCormick. Late challenge there from Gorry. Wonder if the referee might revisit that at the end of this phase of play. Mackenzie Arnold drawn off her line as well. And the ball won't go out. Play continues. Tegan Allen with a quick 1-2. And now Melina Ayres, who loves a long-range shot. Goalkeeper scrambling back on her line. Longo knocked off the ball, and the chance goes begging for victory. You just felt like Melina Ayres was going to back herself from distance. Has a number of spectacular long-range goals in her W League career. This is Riley Baisden running into trouble, but Melina Ayres couldn't take the ball with her. Now Yallop to Tatham. Back to Yallop, directing traffic as she swings in the cross, and at the far post, well, a little bit of ponderous defending from Tegan Allen. The ball is put behind for a corner, and Allen's got a knock from Razzo for her trouble. Was completely unaware that Razzo was coming in from the blind side, and in addition to being challenged for the ball, has also received some physical attention. Action-packed start. Hard to believe it's only 4 minutes in. All is well with Tegan Allen. It's going to be a Brisbane Roar corner kick. So here's the corner. McCormick, an uncontested header. Carson Pickett. Razzo. First to the ball was Ayres. And cleverly knocking it off Razzo. Victory ball. Allen, aware of Razzo's presence this time, but couldn't do anything about it. No nonsense defending from McCormick, but the clearance is straight to Tatham. Play stopped here. It's going to be victory ball. No Elise Kellon Knight for the Raw today, but you wouldn't know looking at Natalie Tatham's really got the Kellon Knight tribute hairstyle going at the moment. Shout out to KK if she's watching. Fox really are playing the Asian Cup final as a little 3-minute highlight package in between A-League games a lot these days. Feel for KK. That penalty still doesn't go in. Here's Ayres with the element of surprise perhaps. Dowie. It was a good half chance, but just couldn't raise the right boot to the ball. And so it harmlessly rolls into the arms of Mackenzie Arnold. Yallop has really been pulling the strings early in this one. Space to run. Is the shot on here? Wants to play the pass and then gets fouled by McCormick. And this is a free kick in shooting range. And Tamika Yallop drew in the defender well. And so with no Kellon Knight in today's team, Carson Pickett might wander up and be an option here. Katrina Gorry is over the ball. Casey Dumont setting the wall. 5 victory players in the wall. Great chance for Raw to open the scoring here. Pickett's the left-footed option, Gorry the right, and the wall is being walked back here by the referee. Spray can is going to be deployed in order to keep them in line. All about execution then. Close range free kick for the Brisbane Roar. Who will it be? Pickett or Gorry? It is Gorry with the right and sending it harmlessly high over the bar. So much anticipation for very little payoff in the end. Bit of an awkward pass out to right back and sold Menges into a bit of trouble. Can McCormick help her out of this jam? Only to the extent of conceding a corner. And not for the first time in these early exchanges, Brisbane Raw's press has really caused Victory some headaches trying to get out of their defensive third. Last corner was safely onto a Victory head. What can Gorry conjure up this time? And this time it's a duel, but still a Victory head that wins out. Dowie doing the defensive work. Gives it straight to Gorry. Bouncing over the head of Allen. And the slightest of nudges from Riley gives away a foul. Jeff Hopkins currently prowling the touchline in a suit. His counterpart, Jack Goodship, wearing the track top and shorts. Bursting out of his chair ever so briefly to claim Raw possession. Pickett from left back. And Riley won't be able to chase that one down, but the referee's whistling. It appears as though late contact on Pickett has drawn a foul. Restart from Pickett. That one's going to roll on. Menges against Razzo, and good use of the body from the Victory defender. It's really been a magnet to that corner of the pitch at the moment. Right of screen, far corner. Reflective of the cross ground direction of the wind as well, which just picks up a bit here on this phase of play. Rosie Sutton trying to play the ball into the channel for Dowie, but well guarded on that occasion by Beret. And then that's a Falcon off the face of Longo. Play continues. And then whistle dead. And that long pass, Victory will be hoping at least, does indeed roll out. Had that just bent a little more and stayed in, it could have been a chase to run down a live ball, but not to be. Dowie. Polkinghorne getting a foot in to good effect. And Katrina Corrie wheels away. Caught in a 1-on-2 this time, Gorry. Hansen. Can Victory shift gears into attack? Tegan Allen, the early ball. Two runners, but goalkeeper at the edge of the area, and Arnold claims comfortably. Hurls it out to Pickett. Back to Celeste Beret. Victory not pressing up anywhere near as aggressively as the Raw. And thus Arnold has time to freewheel out to Pickett, but the header falls straight to Ayres. And now a battle for possession, which Beret wins. To Razzo, trying to take the ball in stride. Neat little step over to keep it moving at all costs. Late contact on Yallop, advantage given. Yallop slowly back to her feet. The attack continues through Baisden. Baisden into the path of Razzo. And coming together with McCormick. And not for the first time, smart use of the body from a Victory defender just to usher the ball to the safety of behind the line. Might have heard that through the effects mic. Jeff Hopkins shouting to his left winger, Darian Jenkins, to push higher up the pitch. Off the head of Longo, and then given away by Jenkins to go to Baisden. Jenkins keen to make amends, backtracking to challenge Baisden. Now Tatham. Raw retreating ever so slightly. And given away to Longo. Jenkins caught in possession. Angie Beard, deflected clearance. Indy Riley with a quick turn. The field opened up for a second there. Now back to Isabel Dalton, trying to keep it moving. Step over, clever from Gorry, but just caught out Pickett as much as anyone. And so Hansen is in to win the ball. And now Dowie. In traffic, nicked off her toes. And Pickett opening up the body there to try and deflect the ball inbounds, but couldn't succeed in doing so. Gorry against Longo, both sliding in for the same ball. The referee says that the foul is by the Victory player. Baisden chasing out towards the corner, and as the ball tumbles on, gained a bit of momentum and crossed the line. Dowie able to roll away from Tatham. Polkinghorne got a block on, but Dowie with a burst of speed first to the ball. Melina Ayres. Longo made the run, but it's straight to the head of Beret. Longo glancing. Beret the obstacle once again. Now Dalton, quick to send it left. Razzo back to Dalton. Pickett. Riley's touch just evading the control of the youngster. Shouts for offside were merited. Dowie just caught out by that long pass. And good awareness from Claire Polkinghorne not to step back in line. So the early flurry of half chances has just dissipated a bit. It's getting warmer by the minute here at Epping. Here's Baisden, first time shot. Denied by Dumont, tries to cut it back. Yallop. Gorry, first time shot, and this one bending just over the bar. Arguably Raw's two best chances in the space of 10 seconds. Good technique from Baisden to hit the target. Dumont equal to it with a good save. And then Gorry following up. Would love to have kept it down. End result is another Victory goal kick. Raw trying to seize on a bit of momentum. Razzo's pass. Dumont on hand once again. Goes with the drop kick this time. Almost to the halfway line. Gorry sets Razzo a task. Menges. Very wiry and quick. Able to lead Razzo to the ball and win a throw. Allen. Shirt grab was clear, but the referee didn't raise the whistle, so Victory still under a bit of pressure. Just have to bomb long. Out it goes. Both teams trying to lift the tempo a little bit. I did mention that off the back of 44 degrees yesterday, just starting to get warmer in what was a 10:30 a.m. kickoff. The heat of the day is just starting to pinch. Players will be happy that it's also windy here in Epping. Tamiki Yallop, space to turn. And decision time. Well, Jenkins was able to short-circuit that attack. Tatham. Baisden out into the path of Yallop, but just a smidge too much on it. Game taking place very much in Raw's attacking half at the moment. Victory playing a 4-4-2 of sorts. Really haven't seen a great deal of Hayley Hansen on the ball, so it's up to the strikers with the support of the wide players to make something happen here, and they can't. Hansen was reticent to join the attack on that occasion as Victory broke forward. Jenkins does seem a little bit isolated out on the left side as well at present. So they're looking to the likes of Longo and Ayres to play the pass for Sutton and Dowie up top. Hasn't quite worked out for them so far. Pickett. Sutton. Onto the head of Tatham. And was thinking about a back pass, but that would have been dangerous. Victory prevailed regardless. Darian Jenkins running at the Raw defence. Great cut from Jenkins, but the shot couldn't match it. Straight to the goalkeeper with a little deflection. Credit to the backtracking Tatham to recover. That could have been spectacular. Instead we go end to end. Razzo can't cut in. Menges had to be there and Razzo slides in. Good play from wingers on opposite diagonals of the pitch there. Jenkins at one end, Razzo at the other. Let's have another look. Just a great shift of body weight onto that left side to cut past the defender, and then credit Polkinghorne for getting back across in the nick of time just to take that little bit of juice out of the shot. Had the entire right side of the goal begging to be aimed at there, and what a goal that could have been. Now a long shot from Dalton, deflection, shouts for handball, and Baisden following in one-on-one against Beard, who skies it behind for a corner. So the game has really picked back up here with action at both ends. 20 minutes gone. Raw's first corner from the near side to our cameras today. With the wind at her back, here comes the corner kick. Razzo, first head, out towards the edge of the penalty box though. And that back pass, in addition to sending Mackenzie Arnold wide out to the flank, is going to allow Victory's defence to push up almost to halfway. Raw have to reset. Gorry, and no one home in attack on this occasion. The ball on the lush surface won't roll out, or did it? Nope, it's a live ball that stayed in. So at the feet of McCormick, we're back in a live contest. Jenkins and Beard, hurried past, Lux of Fortune, fell to Hansen. Natasha Dowie, back to Hansen. We're going to see a forward pass or a pass in the attacking half from Victory's central midfielders though. They want to go backwards rather than forwards at the moment. And that invites on a bit of pressure. All the way back to the keeper they resort. It's a good run from Riley just to keep the heat on Dumont. The wind was dragging the ball across the pitch, and now Raw do have possession briefly. And there's a foul given. Victory sideline manager, subs and staff alike all unhappy with the call, but it's going to be their free kick, taken quickly by Pickett. Baisden got a first touch, got over the head of Jenkins in the end, and perhaps caught Riley Baisden by surprise. Had she known that one was going to land on her toes, we might have seen a first time shot rather than yielding possession the way she did. Pickett getting forward, shoulder to shoulder with Sutton, the attacker doing well to backtrack. And Longo wins the throw for victory. Given away by Beard. Dalton. Baisden to Yallop. Tried to knot it on. Wanted a handball. Referee didn't oblige. Oh, it was almost the seal dribble there from Tamika Yallop. Tried to juggle it on her head past the defender. Couldn't make it stick. Now bombs away from Longo just to get victory into the attacking half and give their defence a breather, really. If they can spend a bit of time on the ball, it might just give them a bit more of a foothold in the game. They're really relying on the element of surprise and a long ball over the top to give them an attacking shot at the moment. Angie Beard has been one of the players targeted for the raw press. And she answers with this counter-attack, and it's a good one. All the way to the attacking third and then hooking the pass on the wind. It's going to bend away from the penalty area and from Tegan Allen. So everything looked good until the final pass there from Beard. Menges. Pickett won the header. Dalton. Gorry. Baisden's got space. Isolated against Beard. She's going to cut central. And then pass it straight into a jam of players. Sutton. Challenged by Beret but did well. And now Dowie at ground level. Hansen. Melina Ayres. Victory on the move. This is promising. They've got numbers forward. Set into the path of Allen, and she's striving, but she won't get there. Combination of the pass and Allen just looked like she was running in sand there. Unable to make ground, and so a little flash of attacking promise dissolves quickly for victory. Longo. Early ball, Polkinghorne controls on the chest and then safety first, just volleys away. Menges stopped in her tracks by Razzo and then with the arm bar concedes a foul. Yet to see a card. Is Rachel Mitchinson going to issue the first one of the game? She is, and I think fair enough too. That was a bad giveaway from Menges and then immediately committed a foul in order to stop a counter-attack. So that's the first booking for either team, and it's a yellow card for the victory defender. Roar have sent their subs to go and warm up. Caitlin Torpey, who scored an own goal last time these two teams met among them. She's yet to score a goal for Brisbane, Caitlin Torpey, but I think she's got a couple of own goals now. We'd love to put that right at some point. It's hard when you're a fullback, though. Dalton studious in defence here. Beard. Awkward ball to control, but now it sits up nicely. And a teasing cross that's just caught the wind a bit, and Mackenzie Arnold, good judgment. Able to grasp onto the ball first time. Pickett, great touch, left Allen behind. And now a perfect diagonal ball. Baisden hits it first time. This is good from the Raw. Tamika Yallop, and denied by Dumont. Diving in at the feet. That was flowing end to end from Brisbane Raw. And only Casey Dumont could stop them at the very last line of defence. Now is hurried into a long clearance. Tatham. Baisden. trying to turn provider for Yallop once again. This time the cutback is misdirected. Glancing header is going to fall kindly for victory. Ayres just eased up and allowed Jenkins to come through. Head goes down, Darian Jenkins goes to work, and now with a chipped ball on the right, it's headed away by Polkinghorne. Allen, as the wind picks up, Menges. It's going to fall to Jenkins here with time to take a shot if she wants. Slides it to Dowie instead. Against Beret. Dowie goes wide. And then gets caught by the second player across in Baisden. High ball from Jenkins. Ayres has gone to ground. Sutton. Not the most convincing clearance, but Riley will help out and just scuffs it away out to the sideline. That's what Victory need to bring some balance back to general play. A sustained period of pressure down in their own attacking third. At the moment, the Roar have provided the best of that in the match so far. Celeste Beret shouting for the Raw defensive line to move up. But Victory stay in possession. Menges, high ball. And they cleared out so that Arnold could get a free run at it. Good contest from Dowie. It's always hard when you're the forward leading with the head against the goalkeeper who can stretch out the arms. And indeed, that's what Arnold did. And now it's Raw's turn to attack. Baisden trying to escape out on the right. Touches it on. Yallop, great control off the chest. And the shot was on, but it was always going to be a high degree of difficulty. And indeed, that's why it screwed well high and wide of the target. There is a really good understanding between Riley Baisden and Tamika Yallop in this game so far. Gorry caught by Dowie. Ayres to Sutton, most advanced Victory player. Needs support to flow forward, and that's what they do. Sutton left prone by an advantage call. Hansen swiveling and playing to Longo, and now relaying out to the left. Tatham against Jenkins, who just waited for Tatham to commit. And now Polkinghorne with a big ricochet, and it nearly falls kindly for Sutton. And then it's volleyed away by Pickett. Menges. Sutton, sleeves rolled up. Allen. Victory of, well, not quite pulled it off there as gives possession away. Rosie Sutton has a hat-trick on this ground in the W League, playing for Adelaide United on her many travels around various teams, having played for Perth, Wanderers, Adelaide and now Victory, but never for her home state, never for the Queensland or Brisbane Roar. It's an amazing story of persistence to stay in the National League when you're overlooked by your hometown team. Certainly, you can argue the peak of her career came here when Adelaide, so long easy beats in this league, came to Epping and absolutely spanked Victory 4-0 that day. Sutton with 3 of them. Jenkins gives up possession. Polkinghorne. And Razzo wasn't breaking after that one. Too much on it. So this game's had plenty, but it hasn't had a goal. And you wonder, when is one going to arrive? 32 minutes now. Both teams have had their looks. Neither has been able to convert. Gorry. Up and under from Beard. And then has to take preventative measures. Just turn the ball behind for a corner. Defensively, it's been a challenging day for Angie Beard so far. They've caught her in possession and had her under the pump quite a bit, the Brisbane Roar. Most important priority is that no goals have been conceded. And so now they have another corner to stand under and defend here. Pickett's corner. attacking the far post, over all the heads. At ground level, Baisden trying to control, catches the wind. Stopped it just in time against the paint of the line. Gorry holding off Sutton and then twisting away. Threads it through two players, and now the cross is across the face. And no Raw players at the far post to get a touch on it before it slides out. Tatham. Razzo has switched over to the right side. Dumont forced onto the non-preferred foot. Still found a teammate. Put that down as a completed pass to Longo, and now Hansen. Victory's two strikers isolated. Midfield has got to just shift up and help them out. That's what Longo does. Jenkins has made a ghosting run down the left, but that pass bending the wrong way. Unable to find her out on the flank. Razzo and Baisden have indeed switched here as part of the front three, so Razzo's now over on the right, Baisden on the left. And Tatham is fouled, you'd say twice there by Jenkins, who apologises for the second little lunge in. I cannot tell you how tempting it is to call her Kell on night every time she gets the ball. It is an amazing attempt to mimic the appearance of Elise Kellon Knight from Natalie Tatham today. Longo. And Arnold couldn't take any risks. Just one step outside the penalty area. Couldn't use the hands. Led feet first. See the Raw bench there. All seated. Watching Allen take this throw to Menges. Ayres. Just a little scooped pass, but Dowie is dangerous in this sort of position. And then rolled back. Baisden got a touch. Defensive work far from done though for the Raw. Sutton making it a contest, and it goes out. Raw ball in the end. Now it's Raw's turn to get dragged up to the defensive end of the pitch. They've got no one in the attacking half to build towards. It means that Gorry's just going to have to stall and slow things down with Dalton. Now to Razzo. Tatham sets it into the path of Razzo. That's a good pass, and Razzo, a quick spin. Slips it onto Baisden, and it goes over. Was there a touch on the goalkeeper? There was. Put it down as a save for Casey Dumont. It just needed the fingertips to ease over. And Riley Baisden, who has continued to be at the heart of Brisbane's attacking through this first half, very nearly drawing the opening goal there. Clever from Razzo. And then when it was decision time, just a little dink into the path of Baisden, who got the shot away, and Dumont saw it over. Raw's initiative probably deserves a goal at this point. Can they convert? Pickett swings it to the far post again. Polkinghorne went through, but no touch and no foul. It's a goal kick. Menges. Razzo was awake to the back pass, but can't run down Dumont. Tumbling ball. Gorry, clever. Left Ayres behind. Numbers on the left. Header away from Riley. Tatham. Gorry had to wait for the ball to arrive. The pass just slowed down, but now it's firmly at her feet. Gorry, and can't thread it through to Yallop. Splits the middle between keeper and attacker. Raw will be acutely aware that they need to capitalise here on their control of this game. Victory with a team that has the attacking prowess of Natasha Dowie is forever dangerous at a moment's notice. So if they don't capitalise here, Brisbane, all it will take is one long ball, one back to goal situation, and Natasha Dowie may well have victory in the lead. Dalton, Tatham, Baisden, Beard's header a good one. Jenkins from very deep in defence. Thinking about top speed, but then slowed down. Back to Hansen. And I'm not sure that's a foul. Rachel Mitchinson says it was. Claire Polkinghorne has a word. And Hayley Hansen won't care. It's victory ball. It's all looking very stagnant ahead of the ball here for victory. So McCormick just goes sideways over to Menges. Sutton. And Longo unable to run that one down. It's been perhaps a bit characteristic of the game. So many goal kicks, so many passes that go out for throws or goal kicks instead of finding the teammate. It's just a game that's lacking that little bit of polish at the moment from both teams. Maybe reflective that neither of them sit in the top four at present. Given away by McCormick, and this is a more potentially dangerous one, but Angie Beard is first to the ball ahead of Indy Riley. Hansen to Sutton. And Arnold out of her line. Dowie's there. And Dowie trying to react. Was thinking about a first-time volley. Beret did very well just to stop Dowie making first contact with the ball. And now Jenkins, shank. And that one is going to bend out towards the line, but kept in by Allen and then given away. And so now Raw can turn. But they won't be able to stretch victory here. They've got no runners ahead of the ball. Maybe it will be a mistake or a break in concentration that separates the teams rather than a moment of brilliance. Razzo. He is caught by Jenkins here. Dangerous pass given away. Gorry. Pickett wants the preferred left side. And Carson Pickett, that was a handball. That was a handball from Longo. And there's no VAR here at Epping today, so play continues. Wow, Annalie Longo's got a future as a field goal blocker in the NFL. That was just blatant. Anyway, Victory are going to make a sub, and Tegan Allen, who we did just notice earlier in the half, was struggling to raise a sprint. He's done a lot of work out on that side of the ground. Bright sunlight today. And even though halftime is not too far away, Jeff Hopkins cannot risk it any longer. And on comes Leah Privatelli. There was just that sign earlier in the half. Ayres played a ball out to the flank for Allen, and whether it was a pass that she didn't want to chase or whether the sprint just wasn't fast enough, you could just tell that all wasn't quite right. And I think the medical team might have just tapped the gaffer or vice versa and said enough's enough, off you come. So Raw throw it in. Beard. Tried to thread the eye of the needle there for Dowie. High degree of difficulty. And now has to go to ground to intervene here. Jenkins caught flat-footed. Ayres trying to set Jenkins into space. And here is the acceleration from Darian Jenkins. Cut in, but showed too much of the ball to Dalton. Razzo to Yallop. And then an equally ambitious pass is unable to find its way back to Razzo. Jenkins, early ball. Rosie Sutton. A few gaps opening up here at the end of this first half. Hansen. Jenkins. Straight to Polkinghorne. Tatham. Dalton, deflected. Razzo keeps it moving. McCormick backtracking. Yallop is running and had to get a touch there, McCormick. Took a bit of a risk going to ground, and so Victory yield possession in their defensive half. 2 minutes plus stoppage until the break. Raw trying to capitalise on a first half that they have had the better of. Pickett. Riley in space, but then defers back to Gorry. Just felt like if there was a bit of killer instinct there, Indy Riley might have had a shot on sight, but was looking for a teammate instead. And now Raw give the ball back to Victory. Looked very foul throwish there from Jenkins, but the referees let it slide. And now Indy Riley is down on her haunches. Scrappy passage of play all round. Looking exasperated there, Riley. Slowly back to her feet. See, she's run in there and just trodden awkwardly more than anything against Angie Beard. But she will be all right to continue, and no need to call the trainer over from the Raw sideline. Brisbane throw. That one looked foul throwish as well. Hansen caught by Yallop. Dalton. Yallop, great turn on the ball. Sending it left. Baisden has to wheel away from the byline, and now Pickett, first time ball, not dealt with. Riley, and that was a very gentle, apprehensive swing of the left foot. It really needed something venomous and full-blooded, and instead it was just a tentative little prod that knocked the ball out. And as the fourth official raises the board, an additional 2 minutes here at Epping to end this first half. I don't want to tempt fate, but one of the two head-to-head matches between these sides here did finish in a scoreless draw. The one that was moved to Melbourne due to the Brisbane floods in 2010. The other meeting between these two teams here was a 1-0 in the 87th minute, with Raw leaving with a late goal. So they're not known for shootouts when they meet here, even though they have been quite goal-filled meetings between the two teams in general over the course of the W League. Long ball here from Tatham and Menges, who is on a yellow card. And Tamika Yallop is right to ask, was the elbow raised? Menges the only player on the pitch with the booking, so has to tread that little bit more carefully. Gorry, good control on the ball. Is there a sting in the tail at the end of this first half? Razzo trying to pick the right pass. Gorry, and just bends it into the grasp of Dumont. All of about 20 seconds of additional time to go. So it's going to take something out of the box to end this first half with a goal for either team. Out of a midfield duel. Hooked high by Yallop, off the head of Baisden. And perhaps that sums up the first half. So this one's been a bit of a slow burn. Plenty of ebb and flow in the contest and good chances for both teams, but ultimately no goals. At Epping Stadium, halfway through this one, it is Melbourne Victory 0, Brisbane Raw 0. Players making their way back onto the pitch for the second half here at Epping Stadium. W League Round 6, Melbourne Victory 0, Brisbane Roar 0. Not much to tell you about the first half. Emily Mengers of Victory is the only player on a booking. And Victory also subbed out Tegan Allen during that first half, replacing her with Leah Privatelli. Clean bill of health for the Roar. And as Natasha Dowie and Darian Jenkins are the last two players to make their way down the tunnel, with Phil Diamataris, the match commissioner. We're just about ready to get this one resumed as both teams go in search of a goal to break the deadlock. Safe to say a draw does neither any favours today. As it stands, Raw would move to 7 points from the same number of games played as fourth placed Canberra, but behind them on goal difference. And Victory would move to 5 points, which would leave them at 2 points out of the 4. But crucially, they would all be losing touch with the top 3. And so a number of teams are currently all jostling for fourth rather than anything further up the table. So what's in store? Do we have a goal in this one or not? The big question to be answered at the start of this second half. And the wind has eased up, so you can hear quite clearly the shouts of the players coming through the effects microphone now here at the start of the second 45. Razzo, block tackle against McCormick. Dalton, firmly struck pass, quick 1-2 with Yallop. Baisden. Jenkins. And right on cue, the wind picks right back up. Darian Jenkins, neat work, keeping the ball at her feet. Rolls it into the path of Dowie. Only Sutton to aim for in the box. Dowie waits for numbers to get forward, but that one too with Longo comes unstuck. The head of Jenkins initially. Menges. Tatham. And Longo fouls Yallop, who was regularly asking the referee for a bit more protection in the first half. And now, quick play of the ball down into the attacking penalty area for Brisbane Roar is short-lived. McCormick. And was fouled, and Gorry went jackknifing through. She spun in midair and became Brisbane Roar's first player to get booked. So that is now 1 yellow card each for our two teams today. Dowie. Gorry straight back into the action. Yallop. Hansen setting it out in front of Jenkins to lope after. Jenkins against Tatham. And the cross is going to just catch the wind and go beyond the byline. Pickett. Hopeful pass, nowhere near Razzo as it falls with Menges. Beret. Longo. And that ball breaks straight rather than curving back into the path of Dowie. Sun's just gone behind a cloud, so a bit cooler and more comfortable for players at the start of this second half. Was starting to warm up as the first half went on. Neat touch from Dowie. Longo trying to find a path where there was none. Ayres in a battle against Dalton. And Dalton prevails, but then sells Yallop into a bit of a slow go situation. She has to defer back to Pickett. Lots of shouting and instruction among the players. And Dalton, bit of a blind pass there, just had enough belief that it would crawl its way back to Beret. Sutton left a boot in on Yallop, and the referee heard it as much as saw it. Sutton asks, what was that for? Well, for a little wrap around the shins. Pickett with the restart. Baisden trying to catch Victory by surprise, and Dumont is having none of it. Pickett's pass, Gorry goes for the Kung Fu style kick, but then couldn't really direct it anywhere. Neither a shot nor a pass in the end. Glanced on, Dowie. This is where Natasha Dowie can be so dangerous. And it doesn't sit up for Sutton. Wasn't quite struck firmly enough from Dowie to be a shot in its own right, but it still was running towards Rosie Sutton. And as I had flagged in the first half, Dowie doesn't need much of a look to turn a half chance into a goal. Looking at the remaining players on the bench for both teams, Victory, who've already subbed out Tegan Allen for Leah Privatelli, still have a couple of midfielders, Polly Doran and Amy Jackson, in addition to their reserve goalkeeper Tegan Micah. And for Brisbane Raw, Georgina Worth is their keeper, Caitlin Torpey a fullback, Leah Davidson a midfielder, and Holly Palmer also a midfielder. So in terms of attacking stocks, Raw want to bring on another offensive change. It might have to be like for like rather than maybe sacrifice a player like Dalton for a more creative one in Palmer, adopting the risks attached with that. All the Raw subs are currently seated on the bench, so you feel as though it might be Victory who are next to act. As the flag goes up against Dowie, that is her second offside in this game, and even though the finish was impeccable, drifting into the net, it was well after the flag had been raised and the whistle had gone. Dowie's been caught offside a couple of times now. If nothing else, just gave a little reminder of what she's capable of with the execution of that shot. Now Dowie is on the run again. Arnold has to backtrack to get inside the area. Raw numbers are piling up, and Tatham was the one who got the effective touch away. Ayres. Back to Hansen. Menges. And Angie Beard. High awkward ball in this wind, but Mackenzie Arnold made it look easy. Razzo just got her ankles tapped there by Leah Privatelli. Those two were briefly teammates. Razzo did spend one season with Melbourne Victory. if that rings a bell. It was a weird season, though. It was the Dave Edmondson victory handover season. They won the spoon. Hayley Raso was perhaps at a low, perhaps her lowest uninjured ebb in football that year. Of course, injuries have certainly seen her have to battle back from more difficult situations. Menges to the left foot of Dumont. Bit risky. Dumont gets it away. Good header from Raso, but then she treads on the ball. And now has to recover and recuperate. Good pass. Yallop is onside. And Dumont, not for the first time in this game, is good at ground level to dive down on the ball and foil the Brisbane Roar. So 10 second half minutes gone, still goalless. Throw in right in front of the victory sideline now. See their remaining subs have gone and resumed their seats, including Tegan Micah, who is a former Wanderers player, graduated college in the US and has been in Matilda's squads, getting closer perhaps to that first cap. He's got to dislodge Casey Dumont from the victory goal first. Here's Privatelli. Hasn't done much in an attacking sense since coming on, so what can she do here? It's closed down by Pickett, but it's a 2-on-1, and Sutton made it fleetingly interesting before the ball went out. Arnold, very cool back in the 6-yard box, just to pass it out of extreme danger. And now Polkinghorne equally confident to sidestep around Dowie, but Ayres puts an end to it and then falls over on the ball. There's going to be a raw throw out of that tangle. Crowd has found their voice. Epping, never really a great draw, and Saturday AM kickoff, hey, it was worth trying. I mean, it's probably exactly what it would have got yesterday. Jenkins. Burst of acceleration from Darian Jenkins. And shut down by Beret. Long ball, hopeful ball, and McCormick keeps it away from Indy Riley. Lone hand in attack, now has Yallop for company. Victory, well, unable to play their way out of it here because Hansen sliced that one out for a throw. And the wind has swung around a little bit. If anything, it's favouring the end that Victory are attacking now, rather than going across the ground. Gorry. Long ball from Annalie Longo straight to Arnold. Privatelli read it best in the air. Dowie calls for the pass and it's offside again. 3 offsides now for Natasha Dowie. 2 in this half. And that one put an end to what looked like a promising build-up. Pickett Baisden is able to read it well with a volley. And Riley Baisden has 2 shots on target for the Brisbane Roar, 1 in each half. And both of them well saved by Casey Dumont. Pickett caught in possession. Privatelli is trying to get to the ball before Beret. He's left the American prone. Sutton, Melina Ayres. Bit of a blind pass, was just trying to keep it moving to a voice rather than an obvious target. Beard, high ball. Beret just had a quick look to see where the keeper was, and indeed Mackenzie Arnold was there. Good pass from Dowie into the path of Jenkins. It's Darian Jenkins. Does she back herself on the tight angle? Well, left it a little late to try and fire. And so sliding in. Beret put it behind for a corner kick. But Victory are starting to get on top, you'd have to say, in the second half. Longo to take this corner. You can see the flag is fluttering quite a bit. Could be tough for both teams to read in the air. And Arnold is able to reach out of the pack of players with an extended fist and send it across the face of goal for a corner on the opposite side. Repeat corners for Victory. And that delivery from Ayres clears out. Longo. Tatham won the ball, put it straight out. The referee is saying for a corner. No, for a throw. Did get there in time. Beard's cross, and just made it awkward for a second there. Crowd on the opposite side to our cameras certainly rode that a bit more hopefully than perhaps the players, because that one was landing on the roof of the net. Didn't quite dip in time to make it really awkward for Mackenzie Arnold. Angie Beard sliding it towards Sutton, guarded by Beret. Got to say, Darian Jenkins cannot take a throw in legally, and the referee is turning a blind eye to it. But with the ball at her feet, Jenkins is a different proposition. And trying to just charge into the penalty area and find a way through, has got a corner for her initiative. So another corner for Victory. Game on their terms at the moment, albeit lacking a cutting edge. Can they find it here? As that ball sails through the penalty area. A couple of really tame corners back to back. Now waxing and waning on the wing. McCormick cleared by Riley, only as far as Jenkins. And then pops it straight to Gorry. And Gorry launches a counter-attack to Razzo. It's 2 on 3. And Victory now make it 2 on 4. So Raw will slow down and defer back. Yallop. And that pass from Baisden comes unstuck. Referee insisting that Victory go back and take the throw from where the ball went out. Angie Beard. So who is going to produce the quality to separate these teams at the moment? It's just got a real air of meandering towards a nil all about it, this game. One of these two teams has to be good enough, or alternatively has to be bad enough to let the other one score, and they just seem to be negating each other at the moment. 20 minutes of second half action ticks by, almost 3/4 of the way through this game. More haggling over where a throw-in is supposed to take place. Privatelli's turn this time. Back to Menges. Privatelli spins away from Razzo, drifting ball, and Mackenzie Arnold was just roaming out of her 6-yard box and had to double back, albeit not too quickly, to pluck that one out of the air. The paucity of attacking options on the bench for either team really is telling. You'd have to say of all the players on the bench, the most attack-minded is also the youngest. Victory's Polly Doran. Raw don't really have an alternative striker they can put up front. As we see Longo here just hoist that one high and wide. Get the feeling that responsibility to find a goal here is going to fall on the players that are currently out there. Ambitious pass from Gorry off the side of the boot. Privatelli got there first, but they're quick to cover. Send it out onto the hill. Menges a quick throw. Privatelli trying to protect the ball, but it is going to be Raw possession. Gorry back to Beret. Bit of a hit and hope. Menges picked it off through Razzo. And Beret keen to make amends for that pass, and does, to Razzo, who can turn and go. Yallop is making a run. Baisden on the right, waiting for the ball to arrive. And credit to Victory, they have got their defence and midfield back in numbers here. And individually as well. That's good defending from Angie Beard. Maybe thought a foul was coming with it. Not to be. Tatham swings it in. Privatelli with a header. It's going to fall to Gorry. And the doctor was not in because Katrina Gorry has sent that one very, very wide of the target. Pickett can feel just a bit of a step up in intensity from Brisbane here. And Victory have to match it. Razzo can't get through Menges, tries again. Gorry leading Hansen out to the sidelines. Back to Razzo. Just trying to unpick the lock here, Brisbane Raw. Gorry has orange shirts to aim for in a sea of blue, and that one finds Menges instead. Ayres just tries to hook it away and does find the safety of the line. But Raw are just turning the screws on Victory at the moment. It had been Victory's half up until this point. Now Brisbane's getting their response. Razzo. Gorry. Shoulder to shoulder with Hansen. It slides under the touch of Dalton. Now back to Polkinghorne. Privatelli. And you could hear the clash of shoulder Sutton against Beret as the ball goes out. Raw have walked a sub up to the fourth official, so they're on track to make their first change, maybe at the next break in play. It appears to be Holly Palmer. Going to stick the neck out here. Palmer for Dalton was the sub I flagged about 5 minutes ago. See if it comes to fruition. Ball's got to go out first. Right now, either team can still make an impact in this here passage of play. Dowie. And collecting the ankle was Beret, giving away a free kick. And this is as advanced that Victory have had a free kick in the game. It's probably right on the edge of shooting distance, though. And are Raw the superstitious types that will hold off, or will they still make this sub before the set piece? Remember the first half when Victory had a free kick considerably closer to this right of screen goal. This one's going to take a bit more of a super boot here from either Longo or Hansen. You'd fancy the way the players are currently setting up would suggest that it's going to be a cross rather than a shot. 4 in the wall in any case. Annalie Longo does just try to drift it onto a teammate's head, and instead nothing to show. So who's coming off for the Raw?
Substitution
It's
for Brisbane
Indy
Raw,
Riley
coming off number 7, India Page
coming
Riley,
off, and Holly Palmer coming
19,
on. So
Holly Palmer.
the duo that have their own YouTube channel make way one for the other. And there is no birthday goal for Indy Riley today, as she is replaced by Holly Palmer. And you wonder if that will lead to a shuffle of who plays where as well. Baisden and Yallop are the two most advanced attacking players for the Raw. They've now got Palmer, Gorry, Razzo as attacking midfielders out there with Baisden as well. So to the best of my assessment, it's more of a 4-4-2, but with two very attacking wide players in Baisden and Razzo on the right and the left respectively. Here's the sub, Palmer. Dowie. Dalton. The referee's going to bring it back and say there was a free kick to the Brisbane Raw for the contact on Baisden. Privatelli against Pickett. Element of danger from Beret, but if you're going to pass a hospital ball to anyone, it may as well be Polks, and Claire Polkinghorne made that look very leisurely and finishes it with a very good pass. Baisden to Gorry. Raw getting numbers forward here. Razzo, all about delivery and execution for the visiting team. Pickett. Teasing cross, and it's been met on the volley, and a good save for the third time in this game. Dumont has foiled Baisden, but Palmer has a chance, and Dumont recovers spectacularly to make a good stop. Casey Dumont, a good save from Baisden initially, and then scrambling back, not quite to her feet, but still able to pull off the save and deny Holly Palmer.
Now
Victory will sub on Amy Jackson
substitution
for Melina Ayres.
Victory coming off. Number 14, Melina Ayres, replaced by number 15, Amy Jackson.
And so Jackson, who has a good record of scoring goals in the W League, but certainly isn't a similar type of player to Melina Ayres. That might prompt a bit of a positional switch for a couple of Victory players as well, pushing Annalie Longo a little bit further forward. Speaking of pushes, there is one on Razzo, and Razzo is saying persistent fouling. Not the friendliest there between Razzo and Privatelli. Can't quite catch what they're saying to each other, but it just didn't seem too friendly. Anyway, the chat is over. Focus back on the ball. It's Mackenzie Arnold trying to decide on the right pass. Carson Pickett. High ball, holding up on the wind, but a great chest to play it out in front from Tamiki Yallop. Menges was making her way back, and there's no one there for the tap-in. That was a good attack from the Brisbane Roar, but it was just missing the attack on the ball at the far post, and now Razzo getting a little bit of her own back here with the foul. Well, if you didn't see that coming, you weren't watching, because Razzo has gone and just issued her own little bit of retribution on Leah Privatelli, perhaps taking matters into her own hands. Oh, that's... yeah, look, probably didn't need to fall on her, I gotta say. Maybe it looks worse in slow-mo, but do we have a match review panel in the W League yet? I'm not sure. I think you have one if you're Lisa DeVanna. I'm not sure if any other players have one. So I'm sure that will pass without any further incident. Here's Baisden. Tatham. Holly Palmer has already had a good chance since coming on. Ball glued to her feet at the moment here, though. Pickett. Feeding it into the path of Gorry, but Hansen was well concentrated and ended up deflecting it out for a goal kick. Time quickly becoming the enemy of both teams here. The value of a win so much greater than of a draw. The draw here really does leave both teams perhaps in a scramble just to get to fourth. Win today, and ambitions of maybe finishing higher than fourth can still be harboured for the remaining games in the season. Either way, it's going to take a winning streak down the stretch for either of these two teams to see finals. Holly Palmer pops it up, but not into the path of Baisden as Beard clears away. Razzo. Straight into a body check from Jackson. Palmer. Tatham. And that ball slides out. I mentioned all the Queensland connections in this game. Amy Jackson, lifelong Victorian, actually moved up to Queensland this year. So even though her entire W League history has been with either Victory or City, she now finds herself a resident of the Sunshine State as well. Back at home playing W League in the summer. Tatham. You can hear the wind has picked up once more. It's been a blustery, swirly sort of a day. Razzo has got Yallop in space. Is this the chance? No, leaves it behind. Is going to fire a shot in anger regardless, but Casey Dumont had the angles covered, and that brief window of opportunity to break into the penalty area was quite literally left behind with the ball. Just over 10 minutes of regulation to go. Still scoreless. Sutton left it behind. Isabel Dalton. Palmer is not going to chase that one down. Neither team is really calibrated to factor in for the wind here. So many overhead passes. Razzo, Yallop. Victory with numbers back. Pickett to Yallop in a little bit of space. Not much to aim for in the box, though. Palmer tried the 1-2, but Privatelli was tracking back. Beret. Gorry, good turn. Loses Longo. And then slides it to Yallop, and the touch was just a bit off, and then Razzo scoops over the bar. And the right first touch, and Yallop was in there, but not to be. Victory are preparing their third and final change. Interesting to see who makes way here. Are they going to get this in before the goal kick? They are not, so one more phase of play at least. Dumont restarts over the head of Jenkins, and as it bounces out right next to the sideline, that's as good a time as any to make the switch, and Rosie Sutton will come off for Polly Doran.
Substitution for Melbourne Victory.
Just her
Coming
third
off,
appearance
2,
in the W
Sutton,
League.
Replaced by number 13,
Doran, the
Polly
youngster.
Doran.
And Sutton, who might think back to the very first chance of the game, a header where she turned her back on the ball, as her best opportunity to score this morning. It is now just the afternoon, but back when the game kicked off, that was her best look at a goal. Doran goes and joins Natasha Dowie up front. If ever there was a good time to score your first W League goal, it is absolutely now, because this game has had the looming spectre of a 0-0, and maybe at best being decided by the odd goal. Are we going to get it right here? Yallop challenging for the header. Palmer tried to get it back to Yallop and couldn't do so. Polkinghorne. And now Longo. Twisting and turning, and Polkinghorne is just scrambling to keep up. Jenkins from the left. Through Polkinghorne. It's Jenkins, all about the delivery. And that was an underwhelming end to a good run. Baisden, flag stays down on Yallop. Show of strength against McCormick here. And goes to ground, but can't tempt the referee to reach for the whistle. Dalton. Pickett. Early ball. Asking a lot of Yallop, and Angie Beard gets the header on it. It'll be a raw throw over on the right side of their attack. Doran. It deflects central. Pickett. She'll shoot from range, and it goes wide left. Casey Dumont may well have got there had it been on target. Right idea from Carson Pickett, though. See the chance once again. I suspect that Dumont might have got the hand to it had that been on the target. You hear the thwack of the ball into Hayley Razzo's head. There's one player you don't want to cop it like that, given her history with concussions. In the meantime, Raw on the attack. Baisden. She's been Raw's main attacking weapon in terms of shots on goal. Can't manufacture one here. And now Tatham with the element of surprise. Almost like a chip and charge, that one. Something very familiar to the northern states, but that one did not dip in time. It really was a shot where you wouldn't expect one at all. Nearly catching out everyone. So we have another look. you just don't expect that sort of swing of the foot to end up in the back of the net. So Raw have now enjoyed a spell on top. Have Victory got anything left? Razzo, Basden's in space. All about the first touch, and it kept the attack going. Katrina Gorry from distance. Menges. And has done well to prevent that going out for a corner. Just never gave up on the ball. And in the end, wins a throw for her team. Well played, Emily Menges. Palmer, and that is a letdown, that pass. Doran, not the greatest first touch, but will be bailed out by a teammate in Jackson. They can't find Dowie though, intercepted by Polkinghorne. Pickett. Menges. Wants an option to pass it to. Doran trying to run for the ball but couldn't get there in time. Attack stays alive through Longo. Arnold has to double back to protect the net. Privatelli wanted Dowie, can't find her. Just like the first half, a few gaps and a few tired players at the end of this half. No decision from the referee. Play continues. Hansen against Pickett. Red alert for Brisbane Raw for a second there as they nearly gave it away in a dangerous area. Now Longo with the Raw defence back in position. Hansen went round the outside. Longo to Privatelli. Jenkins wins the header, but not to any great advantage. Time the enemy of both teams. 4 minutes of regulation to go. Given away, Jenkins trying to return it with interest. Doran caught out by Beret. Basden, dispossessed by Beard. Angie Beard said, where's my option down the right? And Leah Privatelli's got to dig deep, find the energy to keep running. And now a low drilling pass. All Raw at the fall. Pickett just kicks to clear, really. Beard nods it back to McCormick. Arnold has to be careful. Dowie is lurking. Beret. Pickett pops it over to Razzo. Menges has been drawn up the pitch, but it doesn't represent an opportunity for the Raw. Menges instead steering it to Jackson and then dragged the pass. Gorry. Runners put their head down and break, but the pass won't match. Longo. Adding to the path of Doran, but the line will prevail. It's going to be a Raw throw down at left back. And the Raw are going to make a sub. With 2 minutes of regulation to go, Riley Basden is coming off for Caitlin Torpey.
Basden replaced by number 8, Caitlin Torpey.
You wonder if that is Raw playing Torpey in the front three, straight swap. It appears so. So even though she's normally a fullback, they're just going for the fresh legs and see if they can get a last burst out of Torpey. And what a time it would be for her to score her first W League goal. As Arnold doesn't take it cleanly with the first grab, but does it the second time of asking. 90 seconds of regulation to go then. Doran made an impact, and so the pass falls short. Privatelli. Longo. And caught by Palmer. Torpy, first touch off the bench. She's wrapped up by Angie Beard. And Beard is going to fire straight into Polkinghorne. Torpy just blazes away. And it's going to work out with Tamika Yallop. Is this Raw's chance? Gorry. Razzo's in the area. Plenty of victory numbers back. That ball is there to be won. And eventually Hanson makes it her own. With a very good roll. And now Polkinghorne misses the ball. Dowie to win it. And the finish just wasn't there. A tame shot in the end into the hands of Mackenzie Arnold. And in a game of precious few opportunities, that was the chance. And now victory. Can they get lucky again? Can they create another opportunity in this last minute of regulation? Jenkins. And Arnold once again is the obstacle that victory cannot get past. Razzo rolls away from Doran. Do Raw have one last shot at it themselves?
3 minutes of time added on.
3 additional minutes as Razzo's pass has no curve on it. Privatelli, Doran, good 1-2. And then Pickett stops the cross. Privatelli, second time ball off the back of Pickett this time. Hanson, Raw with numbers back, just trying to crowd the area in their defensive third. Torpy, risky, got it back to Tatham. And the kick to clear will be run down by Doran. Privatelli just boots it into Razzo and it deflects out for a victory throw. 1 minute of the additional 3 is ticked by. It's going to be a Raw ball deep in defence. Menges. Jackson. And that pass. Nowhere near the teammate. Referee saying Raw, go back and take it from the right spot. As we wait for the ball to come back in, it will take us into the last minute of the additional 3. Tatham's header. Torpy. Jenkins. Denied by Tatham. Dowie will be burning after missing that chance. And then misses the teammate here. 40-odd seconds to go. Dowie. Doran. Denied straight away. Raw would have to go end to end. Pickett. This is it. If we're going to get a winner, it's on the end of this pass. Yallop chasing. Beard. Through comes Gorry. Yallop. Caitlin Torpy is going to put it in the box. Menges' header. Gorry needs to find the right shot and is denied. Torpy, there's still hope for Brisbane. Palmer, Pickett, now or never for Brisbane. Carson Pickett, can she free the feet? And Privatelli is there to block her. And that will be that. A day where neither team was good enough to win it. And top four ambitions for both sides suffer a blow as it ends in a stalemate. My name's Teo Pellizzeri. Thank you for your company. Full time at Epping Stadium. Melbourne victory 0, Brisbane Raw 0.
Hope you enjoyed today's game and thank you for your participation and support of the Westfield W League. Please take care when exiting from Epping Stadium and remember, stadium staff are here to help should you require assistance.